All right, so I am here with Pete Parsons, the COO of Bungie. Pete, it's so good to see you.
Well, it's very exciting to be here, Bruce. Thanks for having me.
Of course, and we should probably get right to it because
Okay,
everybody's really excited about this. Destiny.
Yeah, you heard of it?
I have it. I just kind of briefly, just kind of passing in and out of my. So last night, I was so excited because I didn't get to watch it live on the PS4 press conference, but I went home. First thing I did, straight to YouTube. The gameplay.
Good to hear.
That's what I wanted to see.
That's what we wanted to show.
So here it is. And I've got a bunch of questions on Twitter. I got a bunch of questions just in terms of how social works, how single player versus multiplayer works. So if we'll just jump right into it, that's all right with you.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so one of my first questions is, in terms of single player narrative and multiplayer, are they two separate kinds of are they parts of this game, or are they all put together? How's that working?
Yeah, well, one of the things we like to say is that Destiny is not a DVD you put in your drive. It's actually a place that you visit.
Okay.
And so for us, what does that mean? Well, that means you're going to get to be a guardian of the last city. You're going to get to build and grow your character or characters over a long time.
Right.
But we also want to make sure that we're giving you great story, campaign, narrative-like play. If you want to play by yourself or just play with a few friends, you're going to be able to have that experience. If you like competitive PvP or multiplayer, you're going to have that too. But the thing that we've done is that we've joined them together.
Okay.
So that I can go off on my own great narrative story, but then I come out in something like a public space.
Right.
What's going on in that public space? Well, if I just choose to keep going on and have my great narrative by myself, I can continue on that path, but I'm going to encounter people who are just coming from multiplayer, who might be going off into a raid, right? And then all of us join together when, I think you saw what happened in the demo last night, some big event happens, and all of a sudden, if we choose, we can all join together to take on a common foe.
I saw a lot of questions on Twitter about the public events, and because that's what happened in that gameplay, is that it just appeared, like the whole world was affected, and all of a sudden, there's this huge thing happening right next to you. Is that something that you don't have to necessarily jump into it? It's just there, and then you can go to it or not.
Yeah, I mean, it is exactly that.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of people who play. They just like a campaign experience. They just want great story. They want great cinematics, great characters, and we're going to give that to you. But I think a lot of times they might be intimidated by something like really intense PvP.
I know I am sometimes.
So if we can give you a space where you can kind of just jump in and help out and get a reward for it, and like get a reward because we all did it together, like that's super exciting. I think it's super exciting for players, it's super exciting for us. I mean, it's actually kind of even surprised us when we started playing in the studio and just realized how much time we were spending in those spaces just having a good time.
Yeah, so a question about loot drops. So for example, at a public event, everybody kind of joins in, brings down this huge foe. How do the loot drops work? Are you fighting over loot, or how does that go?
Yeah, so it's really important to us that you have an experience that's all your own, that you're about building your legend, and that you're only having this sort of competitive play when when you want to go have competitive play. What we don't want you doing, because it's antisocial, we want to bring people together.
Of course.
So because of that, we have private loot drops, so that what's dropping is meant for you, which is exciting. So that means that you and I can go off on an adventure, and you're getting something that you like, I'm getting something that I like, and we're having fun doing it together. Right.
So, and I want to touch back on the single player and multiplayer narrative, because it sounds like you guys have tied in a lot of the Old Republic into that, because the Old Republic sort of tried to do a single player campaign along with multiplayer, and you're also tying in a little bit of Borderlands too, along with all the loot drops, and it seems like you're combining all of these things in what looks like, to me, a seamless experience. And was that always kind of your goal, was to get multiplayer and single player together?
Yeah, so I would say that for us, this is just a next evolution of what we've been working on for a long, long time. Like this has absolutely been a goal of ours, which is, wouldn't it be great if we could bring these worlds together? Wouldn't it be great if I could actually go back to some of this wonderful content and there's a reason to return, right? Like there's not only a reason to return by myself, but there's a way I can bring my friends and show them these great places that I've been, but we all get something for it.
Of course.
And so, yeah, I think we think a lot less about the great work that the Borderlands team has done, or the Old Republic have done, and a lot more about this is our next big evolutionary step for us in shooters.
No, I completely agree, and I think that you guys are definitely on the right path.
Thanks.
It looks like it. I also got some questions about the human, or the was it humans awoken and exo? How do you say that?
There's the Awoken, the Exo,
okay.
and then Humanity.
And those are the 3 races, right?
That's correct.
And then you got
there
the
are three
classes,
right? So you have the Hunter, the Warlock,
yeah.
and the Titan. So,
okay.
And all of those, you're working on growing your build. So over time, you're collecting new armor, new weapons,
right.
new upgrades.
And so, right now, what we're seeing on screen is this a human going through a human hunter or human titan, or how does that work?
Right. So the character on screen right now is I believe it's an Awoken Warlock. It's an Awoken.
Oh, it's
Warlock.
an Awoken Warlock.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. And so that's why he's kind of using the is it telekinesis? Is that what he's using?
That's correct. Yeah.
Right. As well as the I mean, what looks like a badass, magnum is really what.
Yeah. So that's the exciting part is we've got this really extensive set of weapons that you can continue to build, grow, and upgrade, and make really great choices about the kind of weapons you want,
right.
And the kind of armor, and how you're ultimately going to play your character, which is fun. So you're just seeing a hint of that right now.
Okay, all right, and so this is kind of the weapon crafting system.
Yeah, so
here.
this is an exotic weapon, so that's one of the exciting things is you're not going to just have this great range of weapons, but you will have, when you're up against some of the more serious combatants in our game,
sure.
You'll end up coming against, and every now and then they'll drop something that's really rare,
of course,
really special.
Oh, of course, they better, or else.
Always.
I know. So. Also, at this point in the game, I mean, like, just briefly give an overview of the story, and then how this environment we're seeing on screen right now, how that fits into the story. Can you do that?
Yeah. Well, this is actually part of Old Russia. It's in our Cosmodrome. It's actually where during the fall of humanity, many people tried to escape on those large colony ships that you see in the background.
Right.
And so this has long been a forbidden zone.
Okay.
Really, the only safe place on Earth right now is the last city that sits underneath the Traveler.
The Traveler, right.
Everywhere else is filled with mystery and adventure
and aliens
and
danger,
and always lots of aliens to shoot. And that's actually an important part of what we're doing. It was exciting to sit back with Destiny and say, well, where do we want to put you? And we thought the solar system was a great place because it's a place we all know, a place we're all interested in.
Right.
And we kind of root you in the familiar, so then we can throw a whole bunch of crazy stuff at you, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Which is what Bungie always does.
Well, that's our goal. I mean, to keep it really interesting and fun, and yet at the same time, hopeful. Like we want this to be, even though mankind's taken a big blow, we want this to be a hopeful, fun, and exciting place to just go and play with your friends.
Well, the environments look really vibrant. It's not all kind of drab and sad.
Yeah.
I like that there's a combination of both. So,
that is, I have the rare fortune to work with over 400 of some of the most talented people ever. And honestly, I walk through every day at work. I walk through we have this big open floor, and it just blows my mind. And whether you're an artist, a designer, you're in test, IT. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of talent we have, and we've been able to pull this off.
It's really coming through in the game.
Thank you.
It really is.
It's been a long time. We've been working on it for a long time already.
I know you have. So, just one thing that happened just a few seconds ago in the gameplay, there was a ship that came down, and it knocked over those skyscrapers. Is that part of the world over there that he knocked over? Or is
yeah, that's all. That's actually all part of the world, and those are big colony ships that are knocking over. And even if it will probably come out later in E3, even when the Guardian first got off of the shuttle in the beginning, if you just turn around, there's a whole vista beyond. And
that's all interactive, that's all part of the world.
Even at the show today, we'll show what happens on the other side of this world.
Oh, it's so cool.
So it is a big world, but we want to focus on making sure that this isn't. This is a shooter, and we're going to design it to be filled with action, so we're going to really focus you on making sure that we're giving you a great moment-to-moment experience, and you're never sort of just out wandering, and that's not the experience that we want to create.
Right.
We want...
I was going to say, we're seeing a public event right now.
Yeah, this is a public event that's happening. So public events, I could have just walked through and gone on my own way.
Sure.
If I was continuing on my campaign narrative, but I would have been looking at what's going off to the left of me. Could I avoid that? No, you got to join in on that.
Yeah,
and I'm going to get a reward for it. And so everybody knows that's going to happen. Just as you saw in the demo, the sky darkens, huge explosion, something like a catch flies through, whatever happens.
Right.
It'll be a big moment to join people together.
So how do the public events integrate with the mobile app that we saw on the Vidoc? So can your friend send you a text to be like, hey, you got to jump on because this is happening, or how does that work?
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing experiences outside of games since Bungie.net with Halo 2 in 2004.
Yeah.
We think that's something Well, our community is really important to us. And so over the years, we've been able to give them a lot of great features, whether it's communication or groups or file shares or screenshots, you name it.
Right, right.
We think there's a huge next step forward, which is to create meaningful experiences on those devices that allow you to communicate with the game world or to do meaningful things outside of it that you could only do on those devices.
Oh, okay, all right.
And so not a bunch to say right now, but we have a lot of ideas around, hey, what are meaningful things I could do by myself or with my friends that could then pay off within the game world itself. Cool. And so we're spending a ton of time thinking about exactly what that's going to
All right, I like the smirk on your face.
Yeah,
I like that.
We're gonna have fun.
And then one last question I saw on Twitter is, there's a lot of spaceships I keep seeing.
Yes.
Are we going to be able to fly those spaceships?
Not a ton to talk about, but we do say that there is this great property of moving through the solar system, is like Space Boy, it's the stuff that you always dream of.
Right.
And so I think we'll have a lot to.
Oh man, I really come on,
in
come
the
on,
months
Pete.
To come.
Come on, Pete. You heard it here first. I want it. I want it. All right, and then one last question, just only for me. I'm primarily a PC gamer, and we've heard Xbox One, we've heard PS4, and we've heard the current gen systems as well. But we've not heard anything about PC. So what's happening? What's going on?
Right now we're focused on four consoles is a lot.
Okay, true.
But I think the thing we said, we all play all kinds of games, console games, PC games, mobile games, you name it. They're all our passion, and this Destiny is a passion project for us, among other things.
Right.
And we'd like to be anywhere we can. Right now we're going to focus on the consoles, and we'll talk about.
That's okay. No, that's all, you're allowed to focus wherever you want.
Yeah.
I trust you implicitly.
Great.
So that's okay. All right. So I think we're going to go over to Twitter actually, if you don't mind sticking around for a question or two from Twitter. Hey, Sark and APL, you guys there? Okay,
What's
good.
up, dudes?
All right. So do you have a question for Pete from Twitter about Destiny?
Yeah, we have give or take probably 79,000 questions.
I figured there are a lot of them.
There's a lot. People are excited.
First up here, Kevikazi asks, Destiny question, will we see custom camos, reticles, and sights for our weapons in Destiny?
Did you hear that? Okay, so will we see custom reticles, camos, just basically customization of weapons in Destiny?
We're going to make sure that there's making sure that there's lots of customization is really important to us.
I assumed. Okay, yes. He says yes.
Well, if you're going to build a character over time, you want it to be yours. And not only that, once you spend time building it, you want to be able to take it wherever Destiny has to offer, right? So you want to be able to take that build anywhere in that world.
Right. That was a very positive response, Sark.
Thank you.
Very positive. Do you have any more questions for Pete?
Yeah, you want this one, APL?
I got the next one. All right, so iNocturne on Twitter is asking, will Destiny have theater mode?
Oh, okay. All right. Will Destiny have theater mode?
We are not talking about that feature yet.
Okay. All right. They are not talking about that feature yet, but
okay.
I like
he
this.
said it with a smirk on his face.
See, it's fun because this we can hide behind the fans. They let them do all the dirty journalism, and we're just like, I don't know, it's the internet.
Yeah.
I got another one here.
Yeah, let's do it.
Kyle, AVFC18, whatever. He asks, how big is the Destiny world?
Oh, man. All right. So how big is the Destiny world, if you can quantify it?
Well, it's pretty big, but it's so each of our destinations, if you take a Halo game, is probably, depends, up to 2/3 of the size of Halo Reach.
Right.
So these are pretty big worlds. I think the thing that we are doing is making sure that play experience, though, is really focused. For us, it's a lot less about how big is this place, a lot more about what is that moment-to-moment experience like, and what are the activities that we're going to give you inside that world.
Right, inside the city or outside the city.
Yep.
Gotcha. Sark, I think we got time for one more question if you still want to hit him up.
I was really hoping he would say it's bigger than Vice City, San Andreas, Red Dead Redemption, and GTA 5 all at the same.
Yeah. I don't know if he knows that, but I'll tell him.
All right, APL, you take care of my light work here.
Sure. All right. So our Music 13 says, will there be more classes in the future for Destiny? And how does Bungie see DLC for the game?
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
in general.
That's a good question. Will there be more classes than the first three kind of coming in the future, and how do you see DLC playing out for Destiny?
Nothing I can tell you about, but if you're going to make a persistent world, and you're going to grow your character over time, and the world is going to grow over time. I think there's many adventures await inside the Destiny universe.
That's one of those things. It's positive response again. Pete's
Yes.
a really nice guy over here.
Wow.
He's
Good
really,
job,
really nice.
Twitter.
Yeah,
So,
Twitter
all right,
really
well, Pete,
digging
thank you
it up.
again.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks a
very
lot,
much.
Bruce. Yeah,
I
appreciate
really
it, man.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey there, I got some free time for E3. Good. Starting on June 11th to the 13th.